Good afternoon, Los Angeles, Los Angeles. We need to talk about how bad this Chargers team is. I'm Sonny Hill, and this is 960 The Dump. But before we get to that, I need you to first
subscribe to the Greg Patton YouTube channel and hit the bell.
And you can follow me on Twitter, YouTube, and all these weird social media platforms. I don't understand what any of this is. But let's talk football. That's why you're listening. Do you guys remember Stan Humphries? Do you remember Bobby Ross with the air raid attack? That was a good team. That was a team that had a strong running game with Natron Means. They were a competitive team. They went to the Super Bowl. Matt Hendricks is a bum. Matt Hendricks has been a disappointment in my eyes. I can't believe that he has an offense this pedestrian. I've seen kids in my neighborhood call better plays than Matt Hendricks. I grew up playing Tecmo Bowl, Super Tecmo Bowl, Super Play Action Football, Bill Walsh College Football, NFL Game Day, NCAA Game Breaker, and of course Madden. Do you know who Matt Hendricks is? He's the guy who plays Madden. He has no sense of what football actually is. Have you seen him on fourth down? He refuses to punt the ball. What is that? I've never seen a coach so aggressive. It's 4th and 9 and he's throwing fake punts. What is this? This is ridiculous. This football team is run heavy in a pass happy league. It makes no sense. We've got terrible quarterbacks in Ross and Thurber and Nathan Peterman. I can't even name one player on defense because they're so pathetic. But I am just getting frustrated with this team. I don't understand how you can't have a great quarterback to the likes of Billy Joe Tolliver. Billy Joe Tolliver in the 90s wasn't the greatest quarterback in the league, but my God, he could throw a beautiful deep ball with a spiral. I've been covering this team for over 20 years, and I am sick and tired of seeing them throw out this kind of garbage. Now, the Los Angeles Chargers, formerly San Diego Chargers, have a real problem with ownership. Have you seen this? They think we're stupid. They think we're going to fall for this team that they're putting on the field. They're barely spending any money. There's reports that they continue to listen to the cats to make decisions in free agency. Did you see they cut Alex Thury, the backup journeyman quarterback, in the preseason already? This team has been beat 113-0 in the preseason in 2 games. I've seen enough. They're horrible. This owner thinks he's fooling you great Los Angelines. I am sick of this. I want to hear from you. Dial 10-5s and we'll talk about this on 960 The Dump. This is something we've been wanting to talk about. But I'm getting tired and already I got to go to the bathroom because I'm old. And that's what happens when you're in sports talk. You get old. So I'm going to go to the bathroom, and when we come back, I'm going to make some lame Jerry Seinfeld references from 20 years ago that you won't think are funny. And then we're going to talk about the greatest sports movie of all time, Caddyshack. You're listening to Sonny Hill on 960 The Dump. Guys, we've owned this team for 2 weeks. What's going on? This is the biggest failure we've ever had. I don't understand what's happening. I mean, we're paying for a stadium we don't even have now. This is insane. What are we going to do? Stanley, what are we going to do? Jerry, you got any ideas? Look, I can't believe we bet the franchise on the arm of Ross and Thurber. What were we thinking? Now, Jerry, I don't want to point fingers because you're the one who drafted him, but he hadn't been that great, Jerry. Jerry, you can do a better job, I'm telling you. Jerry, how many times I tell you, you got to stay out of the liquor cabinet. The liquor cabinet is for me only. Look, we're paying a stadium lease, guys, of $50,000. Where are you going, Jerry? What are you doing? Jerry, we just paid out $78 million in bonuses. What were you thinking? And Stanley, you wanted us to have a fantasy draft. Look what's happened. The team's even worse. We can barely complete passes, let alone get a first down. We haven't even scored a touchdown yet, guys. Does anybody have any ideas on how to fix this? Jerry, you got something to say? That's a good idea, Jerry. We could shake the roster up and trade people. We could actually increase our merchandising, Jerry. That's a fantastic plan. Get to work on that right away, Jerry. You did a good job, Stanley. Jerry is a genius. We traded our first-round pick, and we got 3 seventh-round picks in this year's draft. I asked Jerry what was our strategy, and he told me to control and dominate the 7th round of this year's draft. We can pick any player that we want in the 7th round. I can't believe how stupid these other teams are. They have to pay 1 really expensive player, and we get 3 really cheap players. Jerry is a wizard. Good afternoon. Live from the Fake Sports News Desk, I'm Scott. We have a developing story involving the Los Angeles Chargers, formerly San Diego Chargers, and now soon to be who knows where. Chargers owner Jeffrey Munk is about to shock the league by informing them they will be forfeiting their 3rd preseason game. We go to the press conference now live as it's beginning. Thank you for coming, everyone, on short notice. I have an important announcement regarding the club. We have had 3 season-ending injuries in the preseason. I am not happy about having to pay full season salaries to players on injured reserve. The point is this: road games don't matter. And you guys here know the preseason matters even less. I make minimum wage as an owner on road games. I only get half the tickets and half the TV revenue. I make no money on concessions or merchandise. That is why today I am proud to announce that we will be forfeiting our 3rd preseason game versus the Seattle Seahawks. Congratulations to Coach Carroll and General Manager John Schneider. You know, my biggest concern is the hotel and airfare expenses on the road and the health of this team. Damn, I said it backwards. Anywho, I will inform you if we forfeit the San Francisco 49ers game. We are exploring possibilities as we speak. Go Chargers. The league informed Jeffrey Munk that this is unacceptable and he will be fined. They are requiring the Chargers to play the 49ers in the 4th preseason game, and Munk has been informed that his frivolous lawsuit regarding selling championship gear is being thrown out. As we go into the final preseason game, fan confidence is lowest in the league. Fan happiness, lowest in the league.
Week 4 of the preseason, the Chargers and the 49ers. The 49ers playing for nothing, the Chargers playing to get in the end zone. And it would take very little time for the Chargers to find the end zone. We joined the game at 10-3 late in the first quarter when Darwin Thompson has found an alley, and he's gonna go all the way. It's ridiculous that it took this long for a Chargers touchdown in a preseason game, but it has finally happened. And now, we will begin our segment of unnecessary replays. Replays from all angles that tell you why this happened. And also spotlight the incredible blocking schemes of one Matt Hendrick. The Chargers would score, and as you see watching this footage, we see the Chargers' offensive line find interior and exterior blocking. Darwin Thompson is sprung free by chasing players into other players. Then what will really catch your eye is watch out of the corner of the left screen when Johnny Dixon, number 12, comes running in with a block. Johnny Dixon throws an actual block, then grabs the arm, and then blocks in the back a defender. This is illegal. The touchdown should not have counted. But that did not stop us from breaking down what the Chargers line did. Look at this block. He doesn't block anybody except throwing him into his own defender as he tried to make a tackle. Now from this angle, we can see a completely different block. It's a Three Stooges wheelbarrow trip block. What you do is you push a player into another player who dives for the legs to take them out. This again is illegal, but not on this play as the Chargers would tie the game. It's 10-10 when Thurber has one last throw in the first quarter, and it's the unleashing of the chuck and pray offense. As it draws pass interference, Thurber would leave the game in the first quarter to make way for Nathan Peterman. And Peterman would enter and throw an interception. Peterman would turn the ball over right away. This would lead to the 49ers on their ensuing drive having to settle for a field goal. Peterman getting advice from a man who has come out of the stands to help him become a better quarterback. As Peterman would take the field following his one throw, the team would discover a star, Tyler Ervin. Ervin would be fed the ball on a regular basis, which would cause Coach Hendrick to believe in his running attack. Hendrick was focused on feeding Ervin throughout most of the game, and Ervin would pay dividends. 13-10, 49ers lead. When you would see the coach basically go into a frenzy of running plays. Consistent running plays for Tyler Ervin setting up the offense. This would allow Nathan Peterman to do what Thurber did, which was chuck the ball down the field. But Peterman, as always, would throw an interception. Possible alleged felon DeAndre Baker in the offseason, somehow on a 49ers roster, would commit pass interference to keep the drive alive. Tyler Ervin would then run on the very next play and trip over his own man for a first down. More innovative blocking from Coach Hendrick, who now was getting advice from that strange man in the stands, was now explaining what a play sheet looked like to Coach Hendrick, who seemed baffled by this. Again, we want an unnecessary replay, Ervin tripping. The next play, Peterman taking a shot in the end zone, the chuck and pray at work. Penalty. Pass interference, the biggest pass play of the game so far, puts the ball on the one. And Tyler Ervin is going to pay it off by taking it over the threshold and then pretending to swim in the end zone, not realizing he's already there. Again, more innovation from Coach Hendrick. This is very suspectable to watch a respectable running back become susceptible and suspectable when he's going in for the score. I know that was a lot of S's. We move further on after the Chargers have finally taken a lead. Robert Griffin goes for it on 3rd and 3 with a short pass, doesn't get it. And they go for it on 4th and 3, and they don't get it. Kyle Shanahan is beside himself as the defense has actually made a play for the Chargers. It's their lead, and what in the Dean Spanos is happening? Bean Braden will show you a new blocking technique as well. As you can see, this is a turnstile block. The goal is to fall down and clash into another player. And by clash, I mean crash, which is exactly what Tyler Ervin does on this play. Nathan Peterman finally finds the end zone with Matt Flanagan. A simple go route that he throws high in the air, and Flanagan is able to use his big fat body to protect himself from getting tackled. The ball is in a perfect spot as Nathan Peterman full scouts into thinking he can complete passes when he makes throws like this. What is going on? The Chargers have extended their lead before the half, and Coach Hendrick is fired up. We move to the second half where Tyler Ervin gets the ball in the opening drive. This is a simple first down run play, but we want to spotlight what Matt Flanagan does here. Coach Hendrick moonwalking because his plan has come together. Watch very carefully after you see the run. Yes, Ervin takes a tremendous shot on the play and gets the first down. But what we want to focus on is watch Flanagan unleash the stop, drop, and roll block. You see him flailing to the ground. As he falls, he rolls, and he creates that good separation for the running back to get free. There is nowhere for the defense to go when Flanagan is rolling on the field. They can't make the tackle. It's up to the secondary. Peterman on the same drive, though, would have a terrible accident. Myles Garrett would rip the ball from him, including taking his wallet, as you can see in this replay, and also Peterman's dignity. A terrible development, and the 49ers would take advantage, as Robert Griffin III, now 52 years old as a backup quarterback, can outrun the entire Chargers team. Pay attention to DeLuca taunting on the play, because 2 plays later, Tony Pollard would run DeLuca over in a game of chicken. This would foresee our turning point, the most unnecessary replay that we can possibly show you of the entire game. DeLuca doesn't want to make the tackle, as you see on the replay. Pollard is not even looking at DeLuca. We go right side to the left side. Right side to the left side with DeLuca flailing. Pollard is not even looking at him. Watch the stiff arm toward a player who doesn't exist. And yet, DeLuca gets run over because he's not even looking to make the tackle. He's just in the way. Probably still thinking about the taunting he did the previous play. Coach Hendrick, very confused, applauds the 49ers getting in the end zone. But he would continue to feed Tyler Ervin. Ervin would be a force in this game as he would run for over 120 yards. Nathan Peterman working the quick pass game to perfection. A quick throw to John Userla. And Userla has a big play because no one covered him. They didn't even know he was on the field. And again, that strange man who continues to advise the team is now working with the defense. More on this in a few plays. But first, let's look at Peterman executing the quick pass game to perfection. There's not a single 49er in sight because it's broken zone defense. And that man would motivate Quinn Blanding to get the sack. This is the first sack of the Chargers preseason. They finally got pressure on a quarterback. And on this hit, unfortunately, Robert Griffin III was knocked back into 2013 before he had a knee injury. The 49ers drive would stall and the defense would make a stand. Coach Hendrick getting way too confident, sends Peterman in an option play, and he is murdered on the play. The very next play, he would throw a pass that would suspend gravity to Userla. 3 49ers would be draped over him, and you would see the dapping of Coach Hendrick and his moonwalk yet again. This throw makes no physical sense as 3 49ers are attached to Userla, and he hangs on for a catch. Tyler Ervin on the next play would cause a heart attack for Charger fans. He would go down with a wrist injury, although the Chargers would list it as a ruptured disc if you can find a disc in the wrist. Try it, it rhymes, I know. This would be the turning point that would ruin the game for the Chargers. Flanagan's completion is a fumble, and the 49ers only trailed by little at this point. A block in the back on Peterman, and the 49ers with 7 minutes left would take the lead and never look back. Things would not improve for the Chargers as they would have given all they had to try and win a preseason game that meant nothing. They did show some signs of life, but the 49ers, the defending NFC champions, Coach Hendrick after the game threatening to press charges against everyone. It made no sense. People were very disturbed by it. And that was the final. The 49ers had prevailed. The Chargers had shown fight. They had outgained their opponents, and now all that was left was to get ready for the regular season.
Welcome back to the show. We're talking about the results of the 4th preseason game. The San Francisco 49ers and the Los Angeles Chargers. And boy, let me tell you, I'm impressed by what I saw from the Chargers. This team has heart. They have moxie. They have momentum. They have a bunch of things that actually mean absolutely nothing on the field, but people like me like to say all the time. Did you see the play of Nathan Peterman in those 3 quarters? He looked like a really good MVP candidate. He looked like he was throwing the ball all over the place. Darwin Thompson is a star. That is a running back who you're going to be hearing a lot. I'm telling you right now, he's a secret dark horse MVP candidate is what Darwin Thompson is. He could lead the league in rushing. Did you see him run? He had a fantastic game. Coach Matt Hendrick running that pistol offense, just brilliant. That is some of the most innovative play calling I have seen in years. I know the fans are all excited. This team looks like, I don't want to say it this early, but they're going to win the division by week 12. I mean, I know people have been bad-mouthing him, and those people are idiots. I've been saying all along, if you look, you go, hey, tell my producers to play the tape. I can tell you right now, I have said all along that this team is a winning football team. They have a winning culture, they have great ownership, and their general manager, I mean, these trades he's making, this is heavy thinking long term. He's outthinking the league completely. Now, this has nothing to do with the fact that earlier this week, we've been purchased as the flagship station for the Los Angeles Chargers, that I'm saying this. I know a lot of you are going to say, Sonny, you've been so critical of this team. And I'll say to them, yes, but now we're the flagship station of the Los Angeles Chargers. Wherever they go, for the time being, we're the home. You're going to hear directly from players on this station. We have access. So now, this team's fantastic. But you know, I could be wrong. I could be absolutely wrong about this. But I don't think so. I think this team's going to win the division. I think there's a very good chance they could get a first-round bye. Although in the new playoff format, that might be tougher than it thinks. I'm really excited to see where this team's going to go. And after the break, the star quarterback himself is going to join us and tell us what he's going to do differently going into the regular season. That's right. Get your recorders out. Ross and Thurber, record it on a tape. Send it to your friends. Go on the social media gizmos and tell people that Ross and Thurber will be joining us after the break. I'm Sonny Hill, and you're listening to 960 to the Dump, the official home of Los Angeles Chargers football.
I don't believe what I've just seen.
How's it? Is it? Are you entertained? Are they just wandering around and they're blocking my face?
Yeah, they are blocking your face and their backs are towards the camera.
That's because they're listening to me. That's not bad. Oh,
No.
Nolan. Kitty. This team has moxie. They have leadership. They have momentum. They have desire. They have je ne sais quoi. They have laissez-faire. All these terms that mean absolutely nothing about what happens on the football team. But let's talk about the game. Come here, Kitty. Go, Kitty. Kitty. You're the owner. You're the owner, Nolan. Darwin Thompson looks like a star. Did you see him in that game? He was running the ball like a young O.J. Simpson. You thought that was a good idea. See, we're going to have to cut things in between it.